last month. All right. Here we go. I think you guys see it. This time will be about shortages and squeezes, which is the San Diego real estate market update for June. I can't believe it. Half a year is gone. And this is right now the current state of the real estate agent, right? Don't call me overpaid just because I sold your home fast. That's exactly what you wanted, right? So when we talk about squeezes, this is the first squeeze. Buyer's commission are down to about 2%. So if you are an investor, rehabber, you might need to save some money. Buyer's commissions are down to 2%, and listings commission are also going down because just of that reason, sellers think we don't have anything to do. We only put it on the MLS and get a bunch of offers. So with that, I'm Lenska, and I'm a real estate broker and expanded my services into ADU consulting and feasibility, as I'm always interested in increasing your bottom line and helping you getting the most money for or out of your property. So here's a quick update to the last update I did in May. Remember, I told you China's birth rates are going down, and sure enough, next day they came out with ending the China two-child policy, and that now married Chinese couples may have up to 3 children. I assume Xi Jinping maybe listened to my market update and realized how bad it is, and he changed the policy right away. All right, remember another update. We talked about inflation, deflation last time, and I made a point about a deflation, but this is the Manheim Used Vehicle Value Index, if you can even find a used car to buy, okay? So we know that a lot of prices have been going up. So the question is it permanent, or is it just temporary, or how the Fed puts it, transitionary? So we're all feeling the effects of material shortages and prices. So especially when it comes to construction supply. So investors are getting squeezed because what happens if you can't get that material? Here's another $6,000 payment to your hard money lender, right? Because you can't finish construction. So a lot of home builders are actually under pressure right now. And when you also look at the job market, actually less people in construction got hired this month. So there's a lot of havoc being placed on all these shortages because of the shortages. So here, you remember how we said, oh my God, we're going to have foreclosures and evictions and this and that. And then we thought, okay, all those retail malls and stores are going to close. But not so fast. Bricks and mortar is not dead yet. You can see how it really was, my laser pointer. So you see it really dove down, but then it has a very strong recovery. Because e-commerce, like companies like Amazon and so, they were fast growing, but they don't own anything yet. So the chart practically shows that the percentage of the sales, so the e-commerce sales is just 13.6%. In other words, we still go shopping and buy most all our stuff in bricks and mortar stores. So there's another effect of the real estate market. Here we go, home ownership is going up. So which means in California, did a lot of investors sell their property because they knew moratoriums and harsher eviction laws would be coming down the pipeline. Let's go back to how we usually analyze our real estate market with some sales and inventory numbers, because everybody wants to know how much did my house increase and how much money did I make this month, right? So we go through these data points: interest rates, employment data, HPSI by Fannie Mae, home builder sentiment, evictions, foreclosures, and forbearance. So, to no surprise, it is staggering. We're up at 745,500 for a median home price, which is up 27.4%. The median detached house is up 31% and is at 865,000. And then for condos and townhouses, the median attached price is 540,000 and is up 24.3%. At the average price per square foot right now, it's $527 per square foot, which is up 26.1%. Obviously, still fast market, 8 days before homes go pending. Obviously, pending sales are up and sold listings are up as well, but only because we're comparing it to last COVID May, right? So that's to no surprise. But here it is, a straight shot up in median home price. Currently, when we open this for the last year, we actually ended up at 750,000. But it has been leveling off the last week. Still, we have a strong average closed percent of original price by about 103.7%, also at historically high. But here we go. So we still sold more, but the dollar volume of closed sales kind of reverses. So people maybe did not buy those high expensive homes anymore. Okay? So that's something to look, but I just wanted to make you aware of when we say low inventory, you see from 2019, it was a pretty straight down line. So we currently have less than 1 month of inventory. Okay? It's pretty everywhere throughout the US. But I think obviously California, or especially San Diego and Phoenix, are the leading cities. Okay, so tight housing market, thousands of homes are reserved for certain buyers. Here, the NAR actually changed their rules that you're not supposed to have these pocket listing or whisper listings, right? So there is one caveat: if you're a big company or big brokerage, you can market within your brokerage. So we that doesn't help to really have these listings everywhere, and that's why you also see some lawsuits going on that, you know, everybody wants these listings advertised everywhere. So, and the closings of these pocket listings is also up. Now, obviously, when you ask somebody, they always blame it on investors, but not only investors. Mainly, it was reserved for people, high-end sales that didn't want their house to be known it's on the market, right? But we heard it also from hard money lenders that a lot of fixers are being sold, not being on the MLS, so direct to seller. Okay, mortgage rates are below 3 again, meaning your payments of a $750 loan is still around $3,000, and that's why people buy. Now we get to the employment data. So we have obviously the employment improved. It's 5.8%, and the U6 is about at 10. Now what is interesting is, remember the Fed's saying that unless the employment picture is getting better, they are not going to taper off buying all sorts of stuff, I should say, not just mortgage-backed securities. So it's still not back to pre-pandemic levels, which means they will not taper, okay? So which gives a certain stability in the market. But what is interesting here is the 55 plus. It looks like the baby boomers took that crisis to heart and maybe retired, or I don't know, maybe started businesses which wouldn't show up in this one. But we do have obviously the most job gains we still have in the leisure and hospitality, which are the lower paying jobs. Initial claims, thank God, are down to 385,000, so which is great, because remember we used to have 1 million initial claims actually it doesn't show we actually had more than 1 million, because that doesn't reflect the self-employed and gig workers, right? So the job market is definitely improving, but can we match job openings with skills? That's a big question. So on San Diego is about 7%, let's call it. So we still actually are not doing too well. But we did create jobs, but we didn't keep up with the building housing. So actually San Diego is the 18th worst city in keeping up with building inventories. So right now, actually in the United States, we're about 4 million homes short. I know they're probably not taking into consideration the whole ADU laws, because these are not new constructions, but they do at least add to the rental inventory. And then remember, an average net worth by home ownership status. So it is obviously clearly proven that whoever owns a home, the average net worth is much more than if you're not owning a house. And so for a lot of people, that becomes during their retirement as a saving grace. But not all of it is owning real estate. Some people do own stocks. But when you ask people what type of asset they believe is the best long-term investment, here's what Americans picked: real estate. So I know we always get a lot of newbies in our club, and you know, if you're young and you can afford the payment, then go get into real estate. And that's why I truly love SDCIA. We're all about education, and we have a deep knowledge of, especially our sponsors. They all are in the trade and have experience with real estate investing. So come on out and network and ask the sponsors questions. So remember last month I said there's a certain a buyer sentiment coming up, and buyers are tired of making these offers. So the HPSI is only up one point. It's practically because only 35% are saying it's a good time to buy a house. Okay, even so, you can see that the fewer people are concerned losing their job, and we have seen an increase in household income. Still, people, I think, had enough and maybe just said, you know, it's truly buyer's fatigue now showing up in the numbers, which I kind of last month already kind of felt when you're in the trenches. Forbearances are improving, okay, all over, and so also the delinquency rates are improving, certainly coming down. If you look off that list where we were here, nearly at 10%, and we're in, sorry, that was 2020, up 8%. It wasn't even as bad as we had it during the financial crisis. We already talked about the real estate agents being squeezed, and there are about twice as many working real estate agents as available listings. Okay, so maybe now you understand why I'm specializing in ADUs now and helping people build ADUs. Now, what will actually happen in fall when maybe the tax law changes, the rent moratorium's ending, people have to start paying their student loans, that the extra benefits of the employment ends, if the extra benefits of health insurance end, if the Feds raises the rate, if they maybe taper already, or for heaven's sake, Xi Jinping is taking over Taiwan because obviously we have a serious chip shortage, right? And maybe also some of the retirement planners didn't consider that the low bond return is not really good for their retirement portfolio. So we have a lot of black swans that can happen to really derail the economy. Overall, buyer fatigue and remorse, paying too much for too little of a house, shortages cause havoc in the economy, commercial real estate recovery is on the way. Median home price is up 100K since January. And if you haven't been to one of my field trips, you missed a good one. We always run the numbers on any investment, and if you can see that number down here, that was the profit of 830,000. You missed a good one. And yes, it's not because you see two women in the picture, right? But I've been doing these field trips for 12 years, and we meet, we network, we analyze and showcase a fix and flip or an ADU or an infill property. So sign up on meetup.com under real estate investing field trip. And the next one is on June 26th. I thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And hopefully your bottom line will increase with what you just learned.